It's day 3 of our getting tested or working out what to do with tennis elbow, and I'm a little bit later than planned on our live video, but hopefully if you've been on our email list you would have had an email through this morning or earlier today just to discuss what we're doing in terms of how to test a tennis elbow from a physio point of view, what we're looking at. So we'll just jump straight in, and I'll just take my jacket off because it's been a bit cold in here, but hopefully I'll be fine. So with your elbow, obviously your elbow is a problem through here. So what we're after, I'll just put my mic a little bit closer into me so you can hear. With the elbow here, it can be just locally tender. So what we're looking for is tenderness around the outside border, your olecranon, so the bony bit here. If it's sore to touch, then obviously it's potentially a tennis elbow because that's the area. If you're thinking golfers, then the problem is on the inside, so we're checking that side instead. But obviously for the purposes of tennis elbow, we're looking at pain on that outer border. So going down the border of the arm and coming up onto the elbow bend. So if you're not sure, if you bend your elbow where the crease ends here of your elbow, somewhere along towards the outer point, you might be sore, slightly up, and then of course slightly down. Okay, so that's tenderness when we're looking at it. The other thing to be aware of is if you grip something. So if you're holding something and you grip it, you might find that that's sore. If you're picking something heavy up like a weight or a mug of coffee, you might find the tension of that gives you some discomfort or pain along the outside of the arm or along that sort of bulbous area of your muscle. Okay. Similarly, when you stretch it, so if you're looking at doing a stretch into the arm here, you've got all those forearm muscles that come up and attach into that point here. Just having that stretch can be sore, as can just touching and being along those arms can be causing you some discomfort. So there's some of the things that we're looking for when you have your tennis elbow. We're looking at, are you locally tender? If you stretch the muscle, does it hurt? If you use the muscle, does it hurt? If you make a fist and grip, does it hurt? And if you're picking things up, opening jars, handshakes, that type of thing is probably things that we're looking at to be symptomatic, if we say. Now, on top of that, then we obviously want to do some testing to work out if that's the correct thing. It could be that you've just strained your arm. It could be that, other things have happened. So what we will do to test it is do some resisted work. So we might get you to hold your hand and then push against it. So if I use this arm to show you, if that's my tennis elbow that's sore here, my muscles attached down here, these muscles actually pull the hand up. So I might just do some light resistance to see, does that bring on the symptoms through here? I might decide to be a bit more specific and actually say, if I resist individual fingers, does it give me some pain? So if I go, okay, if I do it on that finger there, then I know that that might be that muscle that's actually affected, because there's all different extensor muscles that attach through here. So treating them all isn't really necessary. We want the one that's actually causing the problem. So if you're lying your arm flat and you lift your finger up and lift the other finger up and lift the other finger up and lift the other finger up, you might then work out which muscle is your problem. So if I've got a resisted problem when I hold and resist my finger coming up, then when I'm moving it, I want to find out what muscle that is. So I can lie my hands across the top and actually work out which muscle is the problem. So as I'm resting my fingers here, if I lift my first finger up, I'm able to feel what muscle is working or not. So as I move it, I want to go, yep, that's that muscle. And then if I have a feel in that muscle belly, then it might be that I'm still getting the pain here. So that's how we do our testing to work out which muscle is a problem. And one of the big sort of tests, there's obviously a few different tests that we would use for tennis elbow, but the big test is holding the arm out and then pushing down on it. So if you've got I don't know if you can see here, but I've got a little shelf here. So all I'm going to do is push up from underneath the shelf. So similar thing would be having my arm at the side and then pushing down on there. I don't want it in that position here. I just want it in a normal hold, reach and push down. Does that give me tennis elbow? So if you've got, see if I can turn the angle of the camera a little bit for you. I've just got my hand, take the shelf out here. I've just got my hand under a shelf, so I'm pushing up or pushing up under the shelf here to get some resistance. So that might be a good way to get you to work out if you have tennis elbow or not. So what we're looking at is, do you get pain when you use the muscle? Do you get pain when you stretch the muscle? Do you get pain when you resist the muscle? And I'll send you the video later. Thanks for watching.